Meanwhile, the authorities say that the Harris campaign office in Arizona, it has been shot at for the third time in less than a month. The shooting occurred between midnight to 1 a.m. Around the same time, the last two incidents occurred. No one was injured in any of the three shootings. The incident came just as Harris and her running mate Tim Walz prepared to head to Arizona for a rally. And we have with us Glenn Carle, former Deputy National Intelligence Officer and career CIA officer. Welcome to NDTV, Carle. My first and the most obvious question to you is, what security measures should be taken to protect Vice President Harris, along with her campaign staff, and also Donald Trump, who has also had two assassination attempts? Are there any concerns about the effectiveness of the current security protocols?
Well, in the wake of the second attempt to shoot or kill President Trump, the Congress passed an order that the Secret Service provide the same level of protection for candidates for the office of president as the president, him or herself, receives. So the number of Secret Service officers and the layers of protection for the four principal candidates have been enhanced from that date forward. Is that adequate? I've said many times, and I'm hardly unusual in this, that to quote President Kennedy, I think the day literally that he was assassinated, he said, if someone wishes to kill me, it will be possible to do. And there's no perfect layers of protection. Now, to the broader issue of why this kind of danger exists, or rather why there are increased acts of violence against political candidates' offices and so on, people shape their behavior based on the general environment. When I was a child, and this will sound silly, but it's a profoundly disturbing reality. When I was a child, there was a television program, Superman, and Superman, of course, can leap from tall buildings and fly. And a normal adult realizes that is fantasy. But in fact, numbers of people, and in particular children, because it was a children's show more than anything, were literally jumping out of windows. People do whatever the environment seems to say is normal or acceptable. In America, you have tremendous gun culture, and you have the demonization of political opponents, in particular by the Republican candidate. And therefore, numbers of people at the margins will increasingly engage in acts of violence. That's what's happening.
Absolutely. Mr. Carle, having said that, I want to understand the impact on the campaign, and what possible impact could these incidents have on Vice President Harris's campaign, and how might they also affect public perception of her candidacy?
Well, her campaign, we know that Donald Trump, after the assassination attempt, has been, I guess, obliged to speak behind bulletproof glass. And I think the president has been doing that, whatever president has been doing that for years. I suspect that either has already been the case or will be the case for the Democratic candidates, Harris and Walz. Beyond that, you have substantial Secret Service details protecting 24 hours a day the candidates. The perceptions, this just plays into the already polarized nature of this campaign in particular, and I don't see that changing, especially Harris's position or the public's view of her.